Hello and welcome to this fourth installment in our series of breaking down and building back up Thread the Needle, where we've really had an emphasis on creating space and controlling the movement that's happening around that supporting arm and its shoulder joint, okay? Now, today we're going to be on the mat on our hands and knees. So if you want some kind of a padding for your knee, that's great, get that. But otherwise, at any point, if this feels like it's too much, just go back to last week's variation where we're standing at the chair, or take it even to the week before again at the wall. Those two are still going to give you a bit more load bearing to challenge the joint, but at a lesser intensity. So it just might feel a little more accessible. All right. Otherwise, once you've got your mat, we're ready to go. We can get started. All right, so we are going to be finding tabletop position here with the knees stacked under the hips and the hands stacked under the shoulders. We're gonna find our neutral spine. And as we've done in the last couple of videos, we are gonna start with our scapular push-ups. So we're just gonna get things warmed up and situated by lowering the chest with control towards the floor as the shoulder blades move towards the spine, and then chest moves away from the floor as the shoulder blades move away from the spine, okay? Elbows are straight but not locked. They're not hyperextended. They're not collapsing and bending. And the weight in your hands is distributed throughout the full surface of your fingers, your palm, not just the butt of your hand, okay? Now let's try a little bit of elbow bend, just a little bit, not a lot. We're not going very far. We're certainly not trying to touch our nose to the floor. It's just a little bit. You might prefer to have your elbows come out back. I've got my funky elbow from a childhood break that kind of dictates what I do. We'll just spend a couple minutes here. All right, keeping that tabletop back. All right. Let's revisit lifting a hand just for a moment in this position. So we're going to lift our left hand. You're going to have more weight shift into the right, but that shouldn't mean that things collapse, hyperextend, lock, or dump into your back. Okay, let's switch hands. Left hand takes the weight, right hand lifts. Nice integrity through that left upper body chain. Switch hands again. And switch hands one more time. Okay, this time when we switch hands, we're going to do a scapular push-up, keeping the chest square to the mat, lifting it away. Down, square to the mat, up, square to the mat. Down, and up. Okay, let's switch hands, give this one a break. We're going to do our scapular push-ups, so chest moves down, and up, and down, and up. One more time. Back up. Okay, and this hand comes back to the floor. All right, for this next one, I'm going to face this way here so that you can really see what I'm doing. I couldn't really do this last week because the back of the chair would have been in the way. Okay, so what we're going to do here, we're going to come to our right hand. We're going to push away from the floor like that scapular push up as we start to let the chest spin away from that supporting arm. And then we're going to start to lower back down. And we're just going to do a slow, controlled lower as the chest twists towards that supporting arm. Push up, creating space in the joint. Chest twists away. Slow lower down. Nice controlled movement. Chest twists to face the supporting arm. Okay, come back through center. Put your left arm back down. And now we're going to switch sides. So I like to put my hand on my chest. For some reason, it just helps me kind of feel where my chest is without my arm moving in the proper movement. Okay, so we're going to Push away in that scapular push-up, creating space in the joint, starting to twist away through the spine. Coming back down. And then your chest is going to start to turn to face the supporting arm. Coming back up through center, scapular push-up, creating space in the joint. Chest twists away. Slow lower back down, passing through square to the floor, turning the chest towards the supporting arm. One more time. Let's push away, creating space, twisting the chest away, and start to slow lower down, letting that chest come towards square to the floor. Right hand comes back. All right. That is pretty intense. It's pretty intense, and that's without the other arm, which is often the distraction, because we're thinking, oh, I've got to point my fingertips to the ceiling, and we get so focused on that that we don't always notice or pay attention to what that supporting shoulder is doing, right? So that's just what I'm trying to bring our attention to. So now we're going to go through just a couple of rounds of combining everything together that we've practiced in the recent weeks. We're going to get that moving arm moving so that we kind of do a full expression of thread the needle, okay? So I'm going to go on a little bit of an angle, just so that I'm kind of in both views. All right, so let's start with the left arm lifting and moving, okay? So we're going to inhale the arm out to the side parallel with the floor. Exhale as we twist away, creating space in that right shoulder joint. Inhaling as we come through, threading the needle, bending that right elbow, head and arm come to the floor, and just rest here for a moment. And then exhale as you start to push yourself up with that right hand and bring the left back to the mat, okay? Other side, we're going to inhale the right arm up through center. Exhale as you begin to twist through the spine. Inhale as you lower that left elbow, starting to bend. Right arm and side of the head come to the floor. Rest here for a moment. And then you can exhale as you begin to push yourself back up and bring your hand back to the mat. All right, so let's do that movement twice on the right and then twice on the left, so that you can also experience how you might come out of thread the needle and then go into the twist with the arm reaching up. All right, so we're going to inhale the right arm out to the side parallel with the floor. Exhale as you twist away. Inhale as you thread that right arm through, resting the head and shoulder on the floor for a moment. And then exhale as you come into the twist. So I've broken the breathing down before with the arm and the twist, but we can just eventually, they kind of start to become one. Okay, inhale the left arm out to the side. Exhale as you begin to twist. Inhale as you thread the needle, lowering to the floor. Inhale as you come back up. Exhaling as you twist. Inhaling as you thread the needle one more time on the left. Exhaling as you push up, coming back to tabletop. Alrighty, so that was a lot. That is a pretty complicated movement with a lot of load on a shoulder joint that we don't often load our shoulder joints with our body weight. You are welcome to visit past weeks where we break everything down, practice individual parts, practice it with different amounts of load in different positions, and just see how it develops over time. All right, I will see you next month.